I wanted to make another video talking about this because I made one during the Super Bowl about giving my opinions on if this was a fumble or not. Seems like a lot of people disagreed with my conclusion, so I figured, okay, maybe they saw something I didn't. Let's go back, let's look at it again, and let's review. Was this a catch and fumble? Or was this the correct call, and should this have been an incompletion? I definitely think it's debatable. Let's go through the rules, and then I'll give my opinion at the end. So first, what is a catch? A question that I feel like we ask far too often when we're watching football. A completed or intercepted pass is the following. A player who makes a catch may advance the ball forward, blah, 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 all that stuff. The main things you have to pay attention to are going to be the A, B, and C. So A, you have to secure control of the ball in his hands or arms prior to the ball touching the ground, and you'll have to do the next following two things. The player must touch the ground in bounds with both feet or any part of his body other than his hands, and also has to do C, which is after A and B have been fulfilled, performs any act common to the game. And the examples they use are tuck the ball away, extend it forward, take an additional step, turn upfield, or avoid or ward off an opponent. Or he maintains control of the ball long enough to do so. So you need to have time basically after making the catch. That's the way that it works. So again, just to reiterate, go over it one more time. You have the ball, make sure it doesn't touch the ground, and you have control before it touches the ground at the very least. Both your feet touch the ground, or it could be a knee or something, but in this scenario, we're going to say both your feet touch the ground, and then perform an act common to the game. The two main ones we're going to be talking about here are going to be turning upfield or taking an additional step. Those are kind of the main two. Let's talk about if Miles Sanders does that. This angle, I think it's debatable, so I'm going to pause it right here. This is the second his second foot hits the ground, because that A and B part of this discussion is, to me, obvious. He clearly catches the football and gets both feet down in bounds. That's not even to me, it's obvious. To everyone, that's obvious. The question is the time thing. Does he take another step, or does he turn upfield before losing possession of the football? That is the question. And I think an important thing is you look at his eyes and where he's looking, or at least where his helmet is, because it's hard to see where his eyes are. He's mostly turned upfield now. I mean, he's not fully, but he is in position where he's looking upfield. I will take it to another point where he steps now. He does have a step, but does he still have possession? I don't think you can fully tell with this angle. I really don't. Again, some people are going to, Chiefs fans are going to say yes. Eagles fans are going to say no. But, this is definitely debatable. To me, though, the turning upfield aspect of it, I heard a lot of people say he turned upfield. I just don't think that counts as turning upfield. I don't. I think he moved a little bit closer upfield, but did he, perform an act common to the game? Did he complete an act of turning upfield? To me, no. I don't know how you do that without taking a step forward, to be honest. I think it would be really very difficult to do, but in this scenario, I would personally cross that off of the list, but the step is debatable. Let's do this angle. I think this angle will give us a little bit better of a view. Let's just talk about the step. Again, let's just focus on that for a second. So you're going to see Miles Sanders, takes the catch, gets 2 feet down, and right here, the other foot is not down yet. He has not taken a third step, and again, look at the ball. The ball's moving, and this is where it gets a little bit tricky of when did he actually lose possession? You see the ball start to move, so he's in the act of losing possession now, but has he fully lost possession yet? It's once again a debatable scenario that I don't think through these two angles we can definitively say if it was a catch and fumble or just an incomplete pass. I don't. One more angle, this one, what I'm going to do is, all these are in slow motion because that's how the broadcast footage showed it. I'm going to speed this up to match the speed of what happened in real life. I, looked at the frame rates and tried to, did a math equation to get it as close to live time as possible. It still might not be perfect, but I'm doing my best here. So first, you see Miles Sanders. He's going to take a step. And again, I think it gets a little bit slower later on. I think it was a little bit faster there, and now it's starting to get real time. I don't know. It's difficult, but let's just look at how long it takes for him from making the catch. At this point, he has 2 feet down, and I think that's maybe part of where people get confused a little bit is the C aspect of this. The, make a football move does not mean you have to do it after you make the catch. It says after you make the catch and get both feet in bounds, then you have to make a football move. And I think it's that order that maybe throws some people off, because I think you could argue that he turns upfield if you include from when he catches the football to to when he loses the football, but that's not what matters. What matters, did he turn upfield from when he had his second foot down to when he loses the football? He has to make a football move from this point forward. That's, I think, a key detail that some people potentially miss. So, in real time now, does he make a football move? Does he make an act common to the game from this point to when he loses the football? Let's just view it that way. Don't look at any of the rules or any of the examples. Let's just look at, does he make a football move or have enough time to make an act common to the game? And as you see, I mean, clearly he doesn't. I mean, clearly the ball is out now, and this is certainly not the spirit of the rule, I think is reasonable to say. Now, that doesn't matter. The spirit of the rule doesn't matter. The rule matters, and I think you could maybe argue that his foot, it did come close to hitting the ground. That left foot did come close to having sort of a stutter step by the time, before the ball came out. Did it? I don't think so. I think this was the correct call. I do see the argument both ways, but this is certainly not obviously a wrong call or obviously a right call, I think. At the end of the day, doesn't really matter. The Chiefs won anyway. I guess the only reason it maybe matters is I think some Chiefs fans want to be able to say, oh no, this was the wrong call, so that way they can kind of, make it seem like, who cares about the James Bradberry situation, which I don't think you have to do anyways. Your ring was earned. You deserved it. There's no, that's the end of the conversation, really. But I think that's maybe where some Chiefs fans get a little bit, emotional about this thing. And also, it's just an interesting discussion. But yeah, that's my reading of the rules, my interpretation of the rules, and how I think it applies to this play. Definitely a tough one the refs had to call. That's definitely something I think is fair. This was, it's unfortunate that sometimes these kind of plays happen in the biggest of spots, but that's what happened here. So yeah, at the end of the day, could there be something that the NFL could do about this? Could the NFL come up with a more clear and concise thing to go over here? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if there's a better example, because I think sometimes you're just going to have bang plays, and it is going to be very difficult. We can try to get these rules as clear and concise as possible, but it's nearly impossible to have a scenario where you can see one play and say that's a catch, but then if one frame is different, say, well, then that's actually not a catch. You're going to get situations like this to happen. It's just kind of, again, it's, these things are difficult. We've tried it a lot of different ways. You're always going to get some, is that really a catch though, moments. That's what I think about it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.